on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk, presented by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Sooner Sports Talk is also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and by Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. This is Sooner Sports Talk. Now, here's Chris Plank and Teddy Lehman.
Yes, with chants of defense making their way through Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. We welcome you to Sooner Sports Talk. Along with Teddy Lehman, I'm Chris Plank.
So good.
And please welcome the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, Brent Venables. What's up, Coach?
Hey.
How are you, baby?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good. Good to see you, man.
Teddy, how we doing? All right, good.
I know you just came off the practice field, so bye week. Guys got a bye. Got to go see your son this weekend, which was awesome. That was great visuals. How'd practice go for you guys today?
Yeah, really good. We always go just a little bit longer on the Monday after a bye week, so it was good. Our guys are excited to, put the work in. You gotta win on Saturday. You got to beat them every day. That's how you win. Is you got to beat your opponent every day. So that's kind of the focus and the mindset. And guys had a good weekend. They got refreshed and recharged, ready to go after these last three.
Does the Tennessee game feel like it was a year ago at this point?
It literally does.
That's how it works. But what a win, right? How awesome was that?
No, yeah, it was a really gutty, gritty, determined, tough win. Just all the things that we had to fight through. Just going on the road. I think they've lost twice in the last maybe 4 years there at home. Both of them to Georgia in one-score games, and so a bunch of good teams have been through there.
Yeah.
And so that's what I took at. We got a good team. We certainly have our flaws, but we've got great leadership and great toughness. And when we get out of our own way, we can be pretty good. So taking care of the ball was a part of that game. Obviously, we won the turnover margin, but we made that interesting. And we really, in the second half, played a lot of complementary football. Got a great rhythm, and I think that's the third straight game where we've really just are getting noticeably better at targeting, moving people, finishing, running the football, and then the throwing, just being able to get into a good rhythm offensively. We can stay on schedule, and but there's plenty of things that we worked on in the bye week. We did a lot of self-scouting and looked at our tendencies. Maybe it's how are we calling, defense on 2nd and 5 after a pickup of, a run of 5 yards. Looking at what some of those tendencies are. Again, where is it that we can get better from a situational standpoint offensively? Maybe it's the 2-minute or a 4-minute offense. So we really worked hard at that. And then again, the 3rd down, 4th downs, the red zones. These are a lot of one-possession games that you see, and nothing tells you it's going to be any different here down the stretch. So what did you learn through the first part of the season, when you kind of peel it all the way back and you lift up the hood, what's the opponent see, and where do we need, and can we get better? But I think we're ranked maybe 3rd in the conference the last month of the season when it comes to rushing efficiency on offense, and so it's just affirmation of what your eyes have told you. We got some young guys there, and I talked to Jake Michaela just. Where he is today, it was a lot different where he was 6 weeks ago. His confidence, leadership, just how fast he's playing. And a lot of that, he's around a lot of new guys. And he didn't get here till the summer, and then Troy was in there at first. And so a lot's happened, even since, the first few weeks of the season. So John had a really good second half. I know he wishes he could get the one interception back, just hand the ball off. Both of those turnovers happened in scoring position, and after we just got a first down, and so we got to be much cleaner. The penalties, we got to clean those up. We got several young players that are on the wrong side of those penalties, and a lot of times that's what happens when you're playing younger players. They don't play quite as air-free. And so you got to live with some of that. And, but that's the thing we told them today, man. We're going to be a great challenge going on the road. I think 17 straight games they've won at home, the nation's longest winning streak at home. They've won 8 straight since losing the opener. The only team in the country that's lost 4 games, or won 4 games, rather, against ranked teams. And they're playing really well. They lead the SEC in turnover margin. And between physicality and taking care of the ball, man, that's how this game's going to be defined. So, but our guys are really. We had a great week last week, really excellent week. Just passion and enthusiasm and detail, and just great strain, great effort. Just very intentional about what is in front of us right now. I think our guys really have embraced what the opportunity is, and potentially where we control our own fate here, and the things that we do control. It's just about how can we get better, this week, and what do we need to do to put together a game plan and go to, Tuscaloosa and have an opportunity to win. And so that's where the focus has been.
I did laugh you last week. I don't remember if it was in your media avail that you did after practice. You talked about the week. You said meetings. Lots of meetings. And most of us, whenever we're thinking of meetings, you're dragged through them, but it sounded like these were incredibly productive. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of different analytics you look at and tendencies. So how thorough, I guess maybe the question is, was that self-scout? How beneficial do you feel like it was for you?
Yeah, no, very beneficial. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Whatever you find out about yourself, better believe the opponent knows it. Whatever tendencies that you might have, if it's a motion tendency, if it's a down and distance tendency, if it's a hash tendency, maybe it's, an offensive lineman stance. Maybe it's a safety rotation that's giving it away, whether it's in relation to a hash or his depth, things of that nature. So That's what everybody's looking at. You're always looking at, we say see a little to see a lot. What are the little things that, you're putting out there on tape. So you get reports that give some of that information back to you, and but we also have part of our staff, support staff, that's what they're doing every single week. They're putting in that data, to kind of put it all together and see what the big picture is telling you. So, but a lot of it's just fundamentally too, and to get our guys to play fast and aggressive and physical, sure of themselves. You can't change your shot up on game day. You are who you are. And, your fundamentals are the things that you got to hang your hat on. In the most pressure-filled moments, you want your fundamentals to bail you out and be a reason why you win and you're successful on any given play. And so those are the things we really emphasized, as well as, again, take a little, bit of less reps for the week. And so they only have so much tread on their tires. And this late in the season, you want to be smart about that. After about the midway point of the season, you start to slowly take seconds off of each period, minutes off of each period, maybe take out a period and add something else. The bye week's no different. So how you handled the bye week, your first week, is a little bit different schedule-wise than how you handled it here this last week.
You said earlier the turnovers came in scoring position, and the first thing that struck me is scoring position's a relative term.
Yeah,
and
but not this year.
When you got a kicker that can make it from anywhere on the field, I was going to ask you, where is scoring position?
Yeah, probably anywhere around that 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a performance, though. That's probably the best I've seen.
Been
incredible.
Outstanding. So when the analytics guys tell me, hey, it says it's a go at 4th and 5, I'm like, shut up, we're kicking a field goal. No, I'm just kidding. But, he's been, just outstanding. And all that just keeps reminding me just of how many heartbreak moments that we've had our first couple of years, too. That's been real, too. And what a difference having somebody that can just be consistent, when you get past midfield where you have a real fighting chance to come away with points. And what a weapon he's become. And, again, just the excellence, too, that Jacob Ulrich and Ben Anderson, our holder and snapper have been. We've had no problems with snaps or, and I told you those names. Nobody in here. We had a trivia for $500. Nobody in here would have been able to tell us who our snapper and our holder are, and until they mess one up, then everybody knows who they are. So, but they've been lights out as well. Look at that thing.
Wow.
I mean, he made those by combined maybe 2 yards.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's been fun.
Does he have a cap, or does it? I mean, would you let him try a 60?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, I watch him in warm. I love watching him in warm-ups and watching Grayson Miller and Ulrich just bomb punts. But he's pretty consistent. I mean, it's not like it's barely getting over. Now, granted, sometimes they have the tee and they can set up the hold. I don't know what it's called, the holder thingy.
Yeah.
But he's pretty consistent.
That's only on kickoff.
That's only.
They eliminated.
He's talking about the little
holder when
thing
he's out there warming up. Yeah, that holds him
I
for
got
him.
you.
And he's pretty consistent from that 60 plus now. That's unreal. And you see in the NFL, you got guys making 68-yard field goals. I mean, what's allowed these kickers to get this range?
I think a lot of the science behind just body and explosiveness and the lifting and just the flexibility things, just how they take care of their bodies. It's different more so than it's ever been.
They don't have everyone bullying them like Teddy used to bully the kickers, right? They're nature.
I leave those guys alone. You leave them in their own world. You don't want to mess up the mojo.
Gabe made the joke earlier that whenever a kicker's hot, you almost don't want to say anything. It's like a pitcher with a no-hitter.
What do you say?
Yeah.
You got this? What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
He's a cool kid, man, and he's handled it well. Great stuff from Tate Sandell. Our opening segment's been presented by Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law. Noble McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorneys. We'll talk about Bama, talk more about John Mateer coming up. You're watching Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables. Stick around. We're live from Rudy's.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. Fan-fueled, athlete-focused.
Aguilar has the snap. Gonna throw it, he got hit, ball's loose, scooped up. It's R. Mason Thomas on the run, near sidelines, fighting off tacklers, keeps his feet. There goes R. Mason. He's gonna score. There's a flag down as R. Mason pulls up and he's got a touchdown.
There was a lot going on that play, right? There was stiff arm and
strange ending to a touchdown.
Yeah, and then everyone was kind of not celebrating because they're like, oh no, he might be dinged up. But what a momentum-changing moment. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they got back into the high red zone there, and we got a what we call a bear front, and the tackle tries to do a little bit too much, trying to help with the 3 technique inside, and Heineke does a great job of mesh charging, getting up the field, and they got a little RPO on that is not well protected here, and they got a freshman tackle that just kind of makes a fundamental mistake, but Heineke's a really good pass rusher anyway. The quarterback's going to feel us there. R. Mason does a fantastic job of being in a long arm position as opposed to his outside hand. And now that he gets clamped, he would never be able to scoop that ball up. So fundamentally, he is in a perfect position. You see him long arm where he's able to scoop that up with one hand. And so it's kind of a little thing, but that's we certainly took the opportunity to talk about the importance of the fundamentals that allowed him to do exactly that. Teddy would tell you, it's easy. A lot of those guys, they want to put their outside hand on that guy as an outside rusher, and that's when you get a little tug on the jersey and the shoulder, and the quarterback gets outside of you, and you don't make that play. But a lot of help there. That was a lot of fun to watch those guys, run down the field and celebrate. That's what it's all about when it comes to, playing defense and laying it on the line for each other. And man, we've been in we haven't gotten many turnovers this year. It hasn't been because we haven't been aggressive, and sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. But here the last couple of games, we've been able to get our hands on the ball, and it's a trend that we need to continue, going to Tuscaloosa.
It's one of those things that you don't talk about a lot, but I thought it was a good job by Heineke making sure that was a clean play. I'm conditioned now whenever I see the quarterback get hit that I'm like, oh, where's the flag? Where's the targeting
We've seen it twice
call?
this year.
I know.
That we're not, that we're not great for the Sooners. So, I thought the same thing. I'm like, surely somebody's going to try to screw us here.
And there was an incredible hit that I think it was Peyton Bowen that put on a wide receiver that disconnected him, jarred the ball loose, and all of us right away are like, oh, just because every hard hit now, Coach.
Yeah, we'll remember. Yeah, Reggie had the
that was
South Carolina game. Yeah, so yeah.
Go ahead, Punt.
I was just gonna say it's making it harder to play defense. Is what it is.
Nobody's feeling bad for the defense, so neither are we. Just just keep your head out of it, and you can't hit the quarterback in the above the shoulders anywhere. Stone come down on one, trying to bat the ball down, and he hit him right there in the helmet. That's going to be called 100%
play before.
Right.
Exactly. Play before, which is wild how it all unfolded. But how about the running game? It really starting to come along. 3 games in a row, 100-yard rusher, and you can just tell the speed coming off the ball, offensive line. I think the tight ends have done a really good job, and obviously Xavier Robinson coming in has been really good now that he's healthy and rolling. It's been great.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say everybody's done a better job, more precise, more strain away from the ball. And it's all 3 levels. And so you mentioned the tight ends, the offensive line, the receivers have been really good targeting on you see 5 coming in there, and he ends up kind of missing them a little bit. Sategna, you see Burks trying to show up at the party late. Johnny come lately there. And I'm trying to brag on somebody. Let me find somebody to brag on. All right, Burks cut his guy off right there. Here we're cracking. 84 cracks, and we get outside, and I always, the best offenses, they make the little guys tackle. They're going to find ways to make that corner, the guy that's furthest away from the football, they're going to make him tackle. And if you watch these games in this conference, you'll see it in the fourth quarter over and over and over, trying to, have a mismatch on the edges of the defense. So our receivers have done an excellent job of buying in to what playing winning football looks like. How do we play well as an offense? How do you get your opportunity? We need to get into a great rhythm, try to bludgeon people when it comes to, running the football, and then being really explosive, throwing it as well. And overall, top to bottom, we still need to become, work on our explosiveness, and we're much better than we were at any point in time a year ago. But having Keontez out, certainly hasn't helped. But I thought some other guys have stepped up, and trying to get into a rhythm as well gives other guys an opportunity.
The segment, by the way, is presented by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Now, we'll have the availability report on Wednesday night, so hopefully get an update on Keontez and Kobe and R. Mason. But did we get to see R. Mason and Kobe at practice tonight, or is it going to be a process for them?
Yeah, they did some things,
good.
Kind of on the
I'm
on
learning.
the field.
Wednesday availability report will come out. All right.
We'll see. Yeah.
Hey, I'm curious, the Xavier Robinson decision to go down, right at the 1-yard line. And you talked about that was a coaching thing. You guys want to try to milk the timeouts. What's that kind of balance for you as a head coach between gut and analytics, and in that moment where it's, hey, let's get some time off the clock, but also, you got to put this thing almost out of reach with a touchdown.
It's all the same thing with the Patriots game this weekend. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Henderson, he had a long run at the end of the game, and he was so far. He was like, do I score? He was pointing to the sideline and everything. So, yeah, it's tough. Like, I guess you don't expect necessarily to break one from that far away. So,
he almost still scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the analytics of we get a post-game report for how those situational football and probably 85% of the Power 4 schools utilize the analytics system that we do. And we got our post game, and they said, really, we handled it exactly like you would want to. The only risk, as you're snapping the ball and you're not trying to score, you have an opportunity to go up by 2 scores. And so that matters significantly. Because you're balancing it by okay, well, if you don't punch it in right away, then what is the risk of? So then what do? Go another play, and you're just kind of moving, you're centering the ball, and now you're only up by 1 score if you don't score. Next thing you know, now on 3rd and 4th down, they're going to try to let you score on 2nd down. and then call the timeout right away. So first down, they called timeout right away. They had one more timeout, and instead of waiting until the third or fourth down where you absolutely have, now they got their goal line package out there. They're selling out completely and totally. Things aren't quite as easy. The analytics say going up by 2 scores. Now here's what they have to do. Mm-hmm. They have to go down, put a touchdown drive. They have to get a field goal, and they have to get 2 onside kicks. And so it's that, or do you try to milk it and score on fourth down? Right. So they tell you fumble the ball there, you get a bad snap or something like that, or you don't score, or you have to settle for a field goal. Now you're in a really tough position because now they can go down the field and score one time. So it was good how it was handled.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. The analytics report, is it something that you dig? Do you like looking into it and diving into that analytics side of it? Or
yeah, I mean, you at the end of the day, it's just another layer of information that says, hey man, you handled that one like by the book, and that one like for example, the Ole Miss game. We had a go at 4th and 8 when we went for it on 4th and 2,
right?
And we didn't make it, and they go down and score. It's the go was at 4th and 8.
Wow!
And then we went for it on 4th and 5 late, when we're down 1 score, and we throw it to 11. Sategna was open in the slot. That was a go at 4th and 9. Wow. And that's, somebody said, well, why don't you kick the field goal? You're down in that position. It's hard to get down in that position. So the chances are better, going that route, by going for it there.
And do you work a balance of analytics and gut?
Yeah, how we've been playing.
Yeah, okay.
And then what are the matchups? Do you like your matchups to be able to go win? And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables. We're going to talk about Alabama, the game coming up Saturday. And Coach had a fun bye week. All the details coming up live from Rudy. Stick on.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality.
To pass Aguilar quickly down the middle of the field deep. It's picked off again. Robert Spears-Jennings, and he's on the run. He's in midfield. 45, 40, 35. Swim move to the 30 and out of bounds in field goal range. With 16 seconds to go on the 3rd turnover of the first half for Tennessee.
Robert Spears-Jennings made a play. Peyton Bowen made a play. Did they catch any grief for getting tackled by offensive linemen? That was a question
the meeting, they're showing each other, calling each other out. There's a couple of guys that didn't block their guy.
Oh,
and had they blocked their guy, we might have scored a touchdown. And that's what the accusations were.
Yeah. Hey, this segment, by the way, is brought to you by Riverwind Casino, official entertainment destination for OU Athletics. Coach, I loved seeing the shots of you getting to watch your son this weekend. Everybody got a little break in this bye week. And then we listened to your son talk, and oh my gosh, he sounds just like you. But how was it for you to get a chance to watch your boy play?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Dad.
Yeah, I'm certainly. It's become like a deal. Like it's not a deal. Everybody would, I feel ashamed. I haven't been able to, watch him as much as you'd like. There's a lot of sacrifice, and I'm not saying it for pity because nobody will or needs or should feel bad for me. But you miss a lot as a coach with your family, and so we had an opportunity to go hang out with him, and my nephews live there. My sister-in-law lives there, so it was a chance to be able to see them as well. And one of his last couple of games that he's going to be able to play, doesn't have a future playing beyond college, so to be able to wait on the field afterwards and make it all about him, and be able to take some pictures and
awesome.
Tell him I'm proud of him. And
that's awesome.
I was hoping he'd come by me when he's grazing by on the punt team or the kickoff team, and I could high five him. Like, come on, but he never did. He was too cool for school, I guess. You know, I'm the uncool dad, I guess. But no, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You can't put a price on being able to do something like that. So.
Well, I know you guys are back at it. Tough one. I mean, you had the bye week. You able to put the Tennessee win behind you. Looking forward to Alabama. Everyone knows, great football team going on the road. What's most dangerous about this football team?
Just how they attack the ball. Start with their defense. How they attack the football. We showed. Matter of fact, we teaching the defense to start the defensive meeting today. We had our guys put together some TV copies of how these guys go and punch at the ball and rip at the ball, and they've done a nice job of doing that. And so it was good, pictures with 1,000 words, and our guys recognize, game respects game, right? And so we're always trying to learn from someone else. So that's number one. They're super aggressive, very multiple. They're very similar to our defense. And then offensively, just how efficient that they've been. I think at home their average scoring margin is 40-11. The Tennessee, they had Tennessee at their place, and Tennessee's getting ready to go in and maybe make it 7-7.
It would have been 14-16.
Okay, 14-16. They're on the 2-yard line, and I think it's 1st and 10, and they run a little power pass, and the quarterback throws the ball poorly and throws it behind the guy. He's open in the flat, and the Alabama defender takes it and runs 99 yards for a touchdown and completely flipped the script on Tennessee. And but they're really efficient. They've done a great job. I said this earlier. They lead the SEC in turnover margin, and so they've really capitalized. They have as good a playmakers as there is in college football offensively. Their tight ends, their receivers. Just excellent players everywhere, really good stable of backs, offensive line that is really playing much better than at any point in time that they played a year ago. And then Ty Simpson's a coach's kid. This is year 4 for him. He's very instinctive. He's got really good arm talent, but he's incredibly accurate. He makes a ton of amazing decisions. They're very aggressive on 4th down. I think they're something like 13 out of 15 4th down conversions, and a lot of them aren't 4th and 1. They're very aggressive on 4th and 1. They do a very good job. Once they get into the plus side of the field of making the most of it, they've got an excellent screen game. Coach Grubb, this is his first year back, but he was with him at Washington. They've got a really good chemistry, understanding of what they want to do, but they're utilizing their weapons and playing in a real confident way. And so, our guys, we've got to do, the best that we've done when it comes to taking care of the ball, not putting ourselves behind the chain. So we've got to play a clean game, not an error-free game, but a clean game when it comes to, pre-snap penalties, getting lined up the right way, things of that nature. And then we got to make our plays. This is a team that is going to make you, execute. They're going to make you execute. You're not going to sneak up on them and trick them. So we've got to be really good at the basics and the physical demand of the game and what it requires to win. And then the ability, this is a game of execution too. And we've got to be able to execute and play in the situationals the right way and be patient and know that, hey, if you're fortunate enough to, get up on a couple of scores and, that's the way it kind of ends, well, that's great. But you better plan on for, a 15-rounder. And that's going to take everything you got. Winning's going to cost you everything, but it's going to be worth it. And so I'm excited to see, our guys, another week of experience, another week of being together, really 2 weeks of, from when we played last and be able to go on the road. I think there's some confidence knowing that it's going to be incredibly challenging. That's a great venue. There'll be over 100,000 people again, but we've had, I think we are battle tested. That's fair to say. From Tennessee, and also playing Temple and South Carolina, this season, and so I don't think that more than anything, our guys are going to be anxious to be able to, hey man, this is the tape that everybody's going to throw on. You know, there's a handful of games that people are going to be disinterested in, but they're going to put this tape on, and they want to see, you know, this matchup and see how you perform. And this is a game of performance. So, you know, I'm really, again, looking forward to this team taking another step. That's what you want to see. And the last couple of weeks, the leadership has really kind of told the coaches to kind of, hey man, we got this, and that's what you want, you know, for them to have the complete and total ownership of all of it. This is a player's game.
It's awesome. That's great news.
Yeah.
You got to be exciting as a coach too. Our opponent preview is brought to you by One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, Fan Field, Athlete Focus. We got one more segment with the coach next. Stick around, live from Rudy's.
Thank you to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. OU's 2025 football games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on these stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 30-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
Mateer's got it. Handoff, Robinson cuts left, pushes at the 2, he's to the 1, he's into the end zone. Touchdown! Xavier Robinson onto the checkerboard. And the Sooners are back in front in Rocky Top.
How about the emergence of that kid?
Yeah, it's been
see
great.
X run the way that he has.
Yeah, it's fun to see that. I remember recruiting him out of high school. I'm like, this guy he can play on either side of the ball. His instincts, just a football player. They used to, at Carl Albert, they'd run him out there and play on their third down package. They'd run out there and play him at Mike Backer, and he'd run sideline to sideline. They'd blitz him some, and he'd spy the quarterback. Man, he was fantastic, and you know, all of his best days are in front of him. He's just a very natural at what he does, and certainly he's an excellent running back. Really starting to find a rhythm.
Fun.
I did want to ask you, you know, it's the future is incredibly bright, and I think they're all playing really good, but what was it like to send 3 freshmen out there on the offensive line?
Man, listen, it was actually really cool because I'm excited for the future too, but I trust those guys. That's the number one thing with that group of guys. They care so much. They're not aloof. Like sometimes a young freshman are like, man, what's the big deal? You know, like they don't have this shared sense of urgency. And man, those guys do. I mean, they care so much about meeting the expectation and exceeding the expectation for that matter. They care about, you know, their teammates, the other side of the ball. They put a lot into their performance. Super coachable and just very tough. And they're physically mature beyond their years. But that's to your first comment, just, man, the future is incredibly bright with that group of guys. They're made of all the right stuff, just tremendous character, great toughness, great desire and work ethic. But right now, man, they're playing beyond their years, you know, from a maturity standpoint, even a technical standpoint. And, but the best thing that they do, they all are high-effort kind of guys. You know, when they screw up, man, they do it going a million miles an hour.
I love that Eddie Pierre-Louis has a unique talent to be able to turn every snap into a bar fight. It's awesome. I mean, that dude the energy and effort he plays with. It feels to me like whenever he's out there, I don't know, maybe it's just the group coming up together, but they've got something going right now.
Yeah, again, not everybody personality-wise is the same, as you know, but his energy has been infectious, and it's elevated to me everybody around him just with his passion and just got a real focused intensity about him that has brought out, you know, the best in other people around him.
Time for Rudy's question for Coach. Our question is from Blake in Oklahoma City. Bar fight. That was really good. That was really good.
75 times a game. Bar fight.
And how about the moment, too, that went viral whenever he headbutts Fasusi, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's go. And they just like follow the leader to get to the line of scrimmage. It's a good question. Coach, how impressed are you with the depth of your defense? You lose 2 stars, and the D doesn't drop off. That's a really good point. We've talked about that a lot in our post games, to see that depth developing. Our Mason, Kobe go out. Taylor White has himself a game. Owen Heineke is everywhere. That's development, baby.
Yeah, PJ played one of his best games. Sammy Omosigho stepped in, and then, Marvin and even Danny Okoye got in as a result as well. And, listen, there's only one R. Mason, but that being said, we do have some other younger players that, man, they're developing, they're improving, they're getting better. We're talented, but they got the right kind of toughness to them too, and the readiness to get out there. Coach Chavis has done a really nice job. Again, all of our coaches on defense have, just in regards to playing more guys this year and having a nice rotation without like this dramatic drop off. And I'm not big on just rotating guys. Let's get into a rhythm. Our best guys, whoever the best guys, I don't care who they are, get into a rhythm. Okay, defensively, we shouldn't be, unless we got guys that are a true 1A and a 1B. Nothing wrong with the first and second series, but let's get into a nice rhythm and get these guys, develop the toughness too to be out there for 8 or 9 plays too. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's good for you, to gut check time. And if you don't like it, you should have played a little better so you can get off the field. So I think developing the mental toughness of your team is part of what I'm talking about too. And instead of just we're going to always keep guys fresh. When you got this wholesale rotation going nonstop from the beginning to the end of the game, that I don't think that's necessarily where you want to be either. But I tell the coaches, play the guys what they deserve to play. If it's 70-30, great. 70% for this guy, 30% for him. If it's 50-50, fantastic. But there might be, maybe it's 90-10. So don't play them 60-40 if it's a 90-10, based on how they're practicing and playing and their ability to go execute the game plans. But we have been able to develop that depth, and several guys have been here year 4, year 3, year 2. A guy like Danny, and the coach has done a really good job of earlier in the season getting them ready for this part of the season, where that competitive depth will be a huge factor here these last 3 games.
Well, Alabama's got a great core of wide receivers, and we saw Cortland Guillory on there, and it's like every week here comes a new guy, and Alabama's going to throw several more at you again. He's been fantastic, but you can't rest in this conference. They just keep coming. Yeah,
they're second in the SEC in passing and averaging just under 250 a game, and they're very efficient passing, as we talked about, third in passing efficiency. So we'll be challenged without question. They've the skill and the quarterback and the way they're playing, the confidence that they're playing with. As I tell Cortland all the time, sometimes you're on an island, but man, you're not out there alone. And my job, and our job as coaches, is to try to put him in a position where he can have success and protect him when he needs to be protected, and put him on an island, when you need to be able to do that too. When you can do that, then that helps you go and throw some kabuki on people in other places. When that guy, he's good, and but that's a little bit misleading too. There's more to it than that. So, but Cortland has really exceeded my expectations, just because I don't hope is not a good strategy. And until you see a guy do it, when you got real ammunition, when you got the bullets are really flying, you give up a play, you're going against people with tempo, your back's against the wall, you don't really know what they got. And, since the beginning of the season, and I have been bragging on Cortland since last spring, and his readiness and his competitive toughness and competitive character are as good as any freshman that I've been around. And he's got great length. Awesome. He's got great natural strength to him, when he makes a mistake, man, he's going to look you right in the eyes. He's going to respond.
That's it to me on the corner.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's good until they give one up. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah,
right?
you're not going to find him on his heels. He's like, man, put me back in, coach.
That's awesome.
I'm ready, and that's on me, fellas. Just a great teammate, man, and just every single day he's a light when he comes into the building, and you recruit that. You recruit your problems, and you recruit guys that have great competitive character, and he's one of many that we have, but super proud of him. He's playing obviously a critical role, in maybe one of the hardest schedules that we've ever had, and man, he hadn't flinched.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Let's go get Bama.
All right, let's
Thanks,
go.
Coach.
Boomer.
There he is.
Appreciate
Brent
it.
Venables. This segment's been brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. We're wrapping it up next.
We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
Snap good, hold down, kick is away. Does it have the distance? It is good again!
Goodness.
He did it again! Tate Sandell's third 50-yard field goal of the night.
What a week. What a couple weeks for Tate Sandell.
Unbelievable.
Unreal. Hey, our final segment is brought to you by your local Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic. Thanks to the great crowd that came out tonight. Thanks to Coach Venables. Thanks to Gabe and Josh Norman. Thanks to you, Teddy Lehman. You get the final word. What's kind of stood out about Alabama? Ty Simpson's pretty special, isn't he?
Ty Simpson's good. I mean, they got players all over the roster. That's no surprise to anyone. But I like the matchup. I think our defense can stop the run, do a really good job, make Ty Simpson have to beat you in some third and longs. I know Coach Venables is going to change up the look on him. Hopefully we can get us one or two. And let's see if that running game can continue to do some work.
Yeah, great stuff, man.
Yep.
Always love hanging with you. We'll be back here next Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time, hopefully talking about a big Sooner victory over Bama. For Drake Dykin, for our producer, Craig White, that's Teddy Lehman. I'm Chris Plank. Don't forget, you can check this out in podcasts at Soonersports.com/podcast. We'll see you next week. Till then, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue, and by Riverwind Casino, always a good time. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.